So, what if I told you there's this nationwide movement, pretty much run entirely by volunteers, that's quietly building the future of a whole country's tech scene? Well, today, we're diving into DEVCON Philippines. It's this absolutely incredible community of developers, students, and tech lovers who are doing exactly that.
All right, so let's get a feel for just how big this thing is. We're not talking about some small group in one city. DEVCON is a whole network of 11 active chapters, and they're spread all across the Philippines. I mean, from Luzon all the way down to Mindanao.
And the impact these chapters have, it's honestly staggering. Get this, in just the last year, they reached over 14,000 geeks. And yeah, that's their word for it. It's what they call the students, developers, and all the enthusiasts they connect with at their in-person events.
But hold on, because if you zoom out, the picture gets even bigger. When you add up all their programs, everything they do online and offline, their total reach is over 1 million people. 1 million! That's just wild for an organization run by volunteers.
So you've got to be wondering, right? How in the world does a nonprofit powered by an army of volunteers pull off this kind of national impact? Well, that is the big question, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. Okay, so to get how they do it, we first need to understand why they do it. Let's take a look at the mission, the real fuel behind this whole community. So, at its core, DEVCON is a registered nonprofit, and its purpose is super clear and really powerful. You see, it's not just about writing code for the sake of it. It's about empowering people with tech so they can solve real, meaningful problems for the entire country.
And how do they make this mission a reality? Through a whole bunch of national programs designed for literally everyone. They've got DEVCON Kids for the little ones just starting out, She's DEVCON to champion women in tech, Campus DEVCON for students, there's even an AI Academy, and big-time summits for the pros who've been in the game for years.
Now, here's what's so cool about their strategy. These national programs aren't just handed down from some central headquarters. No, the real magic happens on the ground. It's this decentralized network of passionate, local chapters that take these ideas and make them work for their own specific communities. That's the engine right there. So to really see this in action, let's zoom in and look at one specific chapter, DEVCON Bukidnon. Their story really shows you what this model looks like in the real world.
Just look at the variety of what they're doing. In a single year, this one volunteer chapter launched a system to help protect abused women. They ran a week-long festival for over 6,000 people, connecting tech with farming and business, and they created an outreach program for Indigenous students. I mean, that's real, on-the-ground impact.
And this quote from their own report just nails their whole philosophy. It shows you that for them, it's not about chasing big numbers or vanity metrics. It's all about making deep, real connections and actually serving the unique needs of the people right there in their community. And you know, they're not just about one-off events. They're in it for the long haul. Take that project with Indigenous learners. They didn't just show up for a one-day workshop and leave. No, they built a whole sustainable model. First, they train the teachers, empowering them. Then, they roll out a year-long program for the students. That's how you create change that actually lasts. Now, the story of Bukidnon is amazing, for sure, but they're not some rare exception. This same kind of focused, localized impact is happening in communities all over the Philippines. And the diversity of their projects is just incredible. For example, you look at Iloilo, and they're bringing AI education to more than 1,000 kids in both city and rural schools. Then you jump over to Cebu, and they just hosted their very first cybersecurity event for students and pros. And meanwhile, in Manila, the big focus is on connecting local developers with global investors. It just goes to show how each chapter finds a local need and builds something specifically for it. Okay, so you have 11 different chapters, all doing their own thing. What's the glue that holds this massive volunteer network together? Well, it all comes down to a shared set of values. You could call it their code for community. And this is non-negotiable. Every single leader, every volunteer, operates under a strict code of conduct. The principles are crystal clear: respect, diversity and inclusion, professionalism, and a hard-line, zero-tolerance policy on stuff like corruption and bullying. This is the foundation of their entire culture. And this isn't by accident. They are super intentional about it. They are actively trying to build a healthy community, one that's all about collaboration and respect. And at the same time, they have firm rules to shut down the toxic stuff, the gossip, the negativity that can just poison a group. It's all about creating a safe space where everyone feels they can pitch in. So, When you put it all together, the AI camps for kids in Iloilo, the big pro summits in Manila, all of it guided by that strong code of conduct, it's all pointing in one direction. It all builds towards one single, powerful vision.
This is their ultimate goal, their North Star, a technology-empowered Philippines for all. And that last part, for all, that's the key. It's about making sure the opportunities and benefits of tech aren't just for a few people in the big cities, but are accessible to every single Filipino, no matter where they are.
You know, when you see what this army of volunteers can pull off, it really makes you think, doesn't it? What are the unique problems or needs in your own community? And what could a group of passionate, tech-savvy people do to help solve them?
And that's really the big takeaway from the DEVCON Philippines story. It's this powerful reminder that massive change doesn't always have to come from the top down. Sometimes the future is built from the ground up by dedicated people who decide to come together to teach, to build, and to empower their own communities, one DEC at a time.